Yes, we came, we saw, he died.
Hillary Clinton, I think, is a terrific woman.
My fellow Americans, a short time ago, I ordered the United States Armed Forces to launch precision strikes on targets associated with the chemical weapons capabilities of Syrian dictator Bashar al-Assad. A combined operation with the armed forces of France and the United Kingdom is now underway. We thank them both.
Syria, we took them all out other than we kept the oil, if that's okay with you. We kept the oil. We have some back and keeping the oil. We should have kept the oil in Iraq, too.
I'm the only one on the stage that said we should not go into Iraq.
Are you for invading Iraq?
Yeah, I guess so. You know, I wish it was. I wish the first time it was done correctly.
Should have kept the oil in Iraq too. Should have kept the oil in Iraq too.
That plays great before the election. No, we don't care.
I think she is a great wife to a president, and I think Bill Clinton was a great president. You know, you look at the country then. The economy was doing great. Look at what happened during the Clinton years. I mean, we had no war. The economy was doing great. Everybody was happy. A lot of people hated him because they were jealous as hell. You know, people get jealous and they hate you. People don't like him because they're jealous of him.
Yes, we came, we saw, he died.
Hillary Clinton, I think, is a terrific woman.
There is something that I wanted to say, because I was very honored, very, very honored, when I heard that President Bill Clinton and Secretary Hillary Clinton was coming today, and I think it's appropriate to say, and I'd like you to stand up. I'd like you to stand up.
For months, prosecutors say Ghislaine Maxwell hid away in this New Hampshire mansion. But Thursday, FBI agents moved in, arriving in about a dozen cars, a plane flying above to make sure the only way she left was in handcuffs. Now Jeffrey Epstein's closest associate is sitting in a cell in this medium-security county jail in New Hampshire. The 58-year-old faces 4 charges in connection with transporting a minor for criminal sexual activity.
My follow-up, my second question, it's a little bit a different topic, but it's one that a lot of people are talking about. Ghislaine Maxwell is in prison, and a lot of people want to know if she's going to turn in powerful people. And I know you've talked in the past about Prince Andrew, and you've criticized Bill Clinton's behavior. I'm wondering, do you feel that she's going to turn in powerful men? How do you see that working out?
I don't know. I haven't really been following it too much. I just wish her well, frankly. I've met her numerous times over the years, especially since I lived in Palm Beach, and I guess they lived in Palm Beach. But I wish her well, whatever it is. I don't know the situation with Prince Andrew. Just don't know. Not aware of it.
You raised the question of Jeffrey Epstein in your remarks about in the Q&A.
Well, I think he's got a problem. I mean,
what do you think the problem will be?
I don't know, but that island was really a cesspool. There's no question about it. Just ask Prince Andrew. He'll tell you about it. I don't know the situation with Prince Andrew. Just don't know. Not aware of it. No question about it. Just ask Prince Andrew. He'll tell you about it.
GAVI operates with great transparency, and Boris Johnson is somebody with tremendous respect for you and everything you do. He called, he said, "Do you think you could do something maybe around the Oval Office or right by the Oval Office?" I said, "Why not? It happens to be right behind me." As the coronavirus has shown, there are no borders. It doesn't discriminate. It's mean, it's nasty, but we're going to all take care of it together. It's great to be partnering with you. We will work hard. We will work strong. Send my regards to Boris, and good luck. Let's get the answer.
As we shelter those at high risk, we are also pouring every resource at our disposal into the development of therapies and vaccines. 2 vaccine candidates are currently in the final stage of clinical trials.
with several more vaccine candidates entering phase 3 in the coming weeks. And you've read and seen what's happened today. Today's news was very exciting. Through Operation Warp Speed, we're also mass producing all of the most promising vaccine candidates, and we're determined to have a vaccine very quickly. We think we're going to have something very soon. On vaccines, last week we announced a $2.1 billion partnership with Sanofi and GSX to purchase and produce 100 million doses of their coronavirus vaccine. 100 million doses. This is the 6th vaccine candidate we are proactively supporting. We're supporting numerous companies that are doing very well and having wonderful results, and they're in final stages of testing. There are now 2 vaccines in that final stage of clinical trials in America, with a 3rd vaccine likely to begin phase 3 almost immediately. And we have additional clinical trials scheduled over the next few weeks for a couple of the other companies. These are great companies. These are companies that are not only well-known, they're well-respected, most importantly. We're balancing speed and safety, and we're on pace to have a vaccine available this year, maybe far in advance of the end of the year, and we're mass producing the most promising candidates in advance so that we're ready immediately upon approval. We have our military lined up. It's logistics. It's all about logistics. They deliver a lot of things, including soldiers, but now they'll be doing vaccine. Our general is all ready to go, and he's very excited. And once we have the vaccine approved, fully approved, he'll start the process. They will start the process, and they'll get it out very, very quickly all over the country and maybe beyond if it works as we think it probably will.
Then the second time I saw him was the March after that, so March 2017 in the White House. In both of those 2 meetings, he asked me if vaccines weren't a bad thing, because he was considering a commission to look into ill effects of vaccines. And somebody, his name is Robert Kennedy Jr., was advising him that vaccines were causing bad things. And I said, no, that's a dead end. That would be a bad thing. Don't do that.
You tell parents about getting their kids vaccinated. Measles. I'm the measles. Tell parents about vaccinations.
They have to get the shot. The vaccinations are so important. This is really going around now. They have to get their shots. GAVI operates with great transparency. GAVI operates with great transparency. Yesterday, the FDA announced a new collaboration with United Health Group, the Gates Foundation,
The World Health Organization says it's working with global leaders and the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation to develop vaccines, tests, and treatments for the coronavirus.
Yesterday, the FDA announced a new collaboration with United Health Group, the Gates Foundation. Winning the race to be the world's leading provider of 5G cellular communications networks. It's all about 5G now. We were 4G, and everybody was saying we have to get 4G. And then they said, before that, we have to get 3G. And now we have to get 5G, and 5G is a big deal. And that's going to be there for a while. And I guess at some point we'll be talking to you about number 6. What do you think? Do you think that's true, Asia? But right now, we want to be the leader in this. We're the leader in almost everything else. And we're grateful to be joined by FCC Chairman Ajit Pai, who's been doing a fantastic job, and Deputy Secretary of Agriculture, Stephen Sensky. Thank you very much, Stephen. Appreciate it. And tell Sonny hello. He's doing a tremendous job, really tremendous. Secure 5G networks will absolutely be a vital link to America's prosperity and national security in the 21st century. 5G will be as much as 100 times faster than the current 4G cellular networks. It will transform the way our citizens work, learn, communicate, and travel. It will make American farms more productive, American manufacturing more competitive, and American health care better and more accessible. Basically, it covers almost everything when you get right down to it. Pretty amazing. And just as 4G networks paved the way for smartphones and all of the exciting breakthroughs, they made possible so many things. This will be more secure and resilient,
5G networks will also create astonishing and really thrilling new opportunities for our people, opportunities that we've never even thought we had a possibility of looking at. We cannot allow any other country to outcompete the United States in this powerful industry of the future. We are leading by so much in so many different industries of that type, and we just can't let that happen. The race to 5G is a race America must win, and it's a race, frankly, that our great companies are now involved in. We've given them the incentive they need. It's a race that we will win.
We will ensure American dominance in space and in military and pave the way to becoming the first nation to plant its flag on Mars. We're working on that. We're doing very well. By the way, when I took over NASA, it was dead. It was gone, right? It was gone. There was nothing. There was grass growing on the runways, grass through the crevices on the runway. It was terrible. And now it's the most vital space program anywhere in the world. Not only the jobs, but the importance of it and the psychology of it. And by the way, for military defense. And we created Space Force. Think of that. We created another one of many, many things. We've invested more than $2 trillion to rebuild our military. Our military's in the best shape it's ever been. And everything is made in the USA. And we've revived the historic shipyard in a place called Philadelphia with hundreds and hundreds of new jobs. You know that. And we've just launched Space Force. I never talked about it in the campaign trail, Lou, right? I never talked about it. I'm the only one probably that ever ran for office in this country that's achieved more than I said I would. I never talked about Space Force. I never talked about it. But I realized how important it was, and we got it. The sixth branch, think of that. Sixth branch, that's a big deal. American rockets are once again sending American astronauts into space. We renewed NASA. It was a field of weeds. A field of weeds. President Obama closed it down. We're now sending rockets up. And a lot of those rockets are paid by rich people. They like sending up rockets for whatever reason. They like it. We're now sending rockets up. And a lot of those rockets are paid by rich people. They like sending up rockets for whatever reason. They like it.
Tesla's now worth more than GM and Ford. Do you have comments on Elon Musk?
Well, you have to give him credit. I spoke to him very recently, and he's also doing the rockets. He likes rockets, and he does good at rockets, too, by the way. I never saw where the engines come down with no wings, no anything, and they're landing. I said, I've never seen that before. And I was worried about him because he's one of our great geniuses, and we have to protect our genius.
And a lot of those rockets are paid by rich people. They like sending up rockets for whatever reason. They like it.
Look what I did for Israel. Thank you. But it's amazing to me because nobody's been worse to Israel than President Obama and Biden. Nobody. Nobody's been worse. Look at the Iran deal. It was the worst thing that ever happened to Israel. And they never moved the embassy to Jerusalem, thereby making Jerusalem the capital of Israel, which I did. And neither did any other president. And I understand why. They campaign on it, campaign. Every president said they were going to do it. No president did it until I came along. We did something that should have been done many, many decades ago. And every president violated their promise, their campaign promise, except me. And I did it. And by the way, I added in Golan Heights. That was a big one, too, by itself. And I did it. Could run in Israel, and I think they said probably a 98% approval rating in Israel. So it's been good. And you know who appreciates it the most are the evangelical Christians. They appreciate it the most.
Wherever I go, God rules. When I walk on white White House grounds, God walks on White House grounds. I had every right and authority to declare the White House as holy ground because I was standing there, and where I stand is holy.
To say no to President Trump would be saying no to God. And I won't do that.
We are in a spiritual war right now. Let every demonic network that has aligned itself against the purpose, against the calling of President Trump, let it be broken, let it be torn down in the name of Jesus.
You want me to tell you what my thoughts are? The thoughts of the King of Kings, the thoughts of the Lord of Lords. I'm downloading heaven.
Hey!
Here he is, the nominee. That has to be providence. That has to be the hand of God, in my opinion.
And any tongue that rises against him will be condemned according to the word of God.
Who has heard the poem called The Snake?
Has he offered to withdraw? From the process?